Hey everybody, it's Keegan here. I'm back with another video once again, and today's video I'm bringing you guys is another edition of questions and answers. This is going to be questions and answers video number 39 for April 2023. So today I have a total of 32 questions to answer, and as always I'll be answering each question in alphabetical order by username, or if a username starts with a number, then I'll start with the numbers. But yeah, you know how it is. So yeah, let's not waste any more time and let's take a look at today's questions you guys left for me in the last video. The first four questions we're starting off with today are listed under one comment, and all these questions all come from Alan Parker. And the following questions are as follows. Number 1, what's your opinion on True Romance? Number 2, what's your opinion on Wall Street? Number 3, what's your opinion on Everything Everywhere All at Once? And number 4, what is your favorite Quentin Tarantino movies? Number 1, True Romance is a classic. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. I own the film on Blu-ray and on VHS. It's just an awesome movie. I swear, it felt like Quentin Tarantino actually directed the movie, but no, it was Tony Scott who directed it, but Tarantino did write the screenplay for it. Number 2, I've never seen Wall Street, nor have I ever seen the sequel, Wall Street Money Never Sleeps. I hear the first Wall Street is a great Oliver Stone movie. So maybe someday I'll check that one out. I hear it's great from what I hear. Number 3, Everything Everywhere All at Once is a good movie, but I find that people overhype the movie. But don't get me wrong, it's a good movie, but god damn do people overhype the movie. But that's not to say I don't like the movie. I just find people I find the movie just way too overhyped, in my opinion. Again, I'm not saying I don't like the movie. I just find it that people just overhype the movie. Just settle down. Just, yeah. And number 4, my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie is a tie between Django Unchained and Pulp Fiction. So those are the questions from Alan Parker, and thanks for the questions, Alan Parker. And let's move on to some other questions I have to answer. For the next 4 questions, all come from Andy Keyshore, and each question is divided into 4 separate comments. So the first of 4 questions from Andy Keyshore is, are you aware that it was recently announced that they are trying to do a reboot of Harry Potter? Yeah, I hear they're going to do a reboot of Harry Potter, but not like in movies, but like as a TV series. But I don't know why they want to do a reboot. I hear the other movies are just timeless classics. I don't know why they want to reboot it. Now, I know I've said this many times before in the past, but I'll say it again. I'm not a fan of Harry Potter. Just, I couldn't really get into the Harry Potter franchise, but I understand why a lot of people like it, but I don't know, it just wasn't for me. Anyways, moving on. Do you think it's weird how the Sopranos logo is red, but the show's film, The Many Saints of New York's logo is black? No. If you're talking about the opening credits, both logos are white. Like the title, like the letter fonts are both white. So I don't really see what's weird about it. The next one from Andy Keisher is, what's your biggest pet peeve? Biggest pet peeve? I have a lot of pet peeves. I can't stand it when people look at their phone when they're walking, especially at a crosswalk, because that's really dangerous and it makes you look like so oblivious to the surroundings. If you're going to look at your phone, just stop walking and just look at it, and just don't walk with your eyes on the screen and not what's ahead of you. It makes you look silly, in my opinion. I also can't stand people who don't have manners. Like, have some manners, for Christ's sake. Trying to think of some other ones. I do have quite a few pet peeves, but I can't really name them all because that'll take too long. Let's just name 2 more, and then we'll move on to the next one. To be honest, I can't really think of anything else right now. So those are my 2 biggest pet peeves that I have right now. And now let's move on to the last question from Andy Keyshore, which is, what's your favorite French film? My favorite French film, I don't know. I really like a lot of French films, like Blue is the Warmest Color, Titane, Raw, which I really enjoyed and watched for the first time a while ago, and I also really enjoyed Belle de Jour. But I don't know what's my favorite French films, but those are some of the ones that I can think of at the moment. And yeah, those are all the questions from Andy Keyshore. Thanks for the questions, Andy Keyshore. And now let's move on to some other questions. This next question comes from Chase Shepard, and it's one singular question that I've actually already answered this question before in a recent Q&A video, but I guess I'll answer it again. And that question is, what are your thoughts on Brandon Fraser? I think Brandon Fraser's a really good actor. He was great in movies like The Whale and a couple of other good ones. And I think he deserved winning the Best Actor at this year's Oscars for his role in The Whale. Like, he was really good in that film. It was such a sad film, but it was a really good film. And yeah, that's my answer for your question, Chase Shepard, and thanks for the question. And let's move on. The next 7 questions come from Donkey Man, and each of the 7 questions are divided into 7 comments. So the first of 7 questions is, what is your opinion on Wedding Crashers? Never seen that movie, but I've heard of it. Maybe I'll check it out someday. I'm not in a big rush to seeing it, though. The next question is, what do you think of M. Night Shyamalan? M. Night Shyamalan is a good director. Some of his movies are good, and some of his movies are shit. I haven't seen the new one he came out with not that long ago called Knock at the Cabin, but I hear mixed things about it. Again, I have seen some of his movies. Some of his movies are good, and some of them are bad. His good ones I can think of are Unbreakable, The Sixth Sense, Signs, and Split. Some of his shitty films I'd say were Old, which was bad, but it was entertaining at the same time. The Last Airbender and The Happening, which The Happening is a hilarious movie to watch with your friends if you and your friends are drunk as hell. But I do think M. Night Shyamalan is a pretty good director, even though some of his films can be a hit or miss. But again, I do think he's a pretty good director. The next one from Donkey Man is, what is your opinion on the Transformers series? There's like a lot of different series of Transformers. If you're talking about the 80s cartoon series, which I have seen reruns of a long time ago, I think the original series in the 80s kicked ass. If you're talking about the Michael Bay films, most of the movies are shit, but the first one and the third one are pretty good. The second one was meh, it was okay. I know a lot of people didn't like the second one. I haven't seen any of the other Transformers movies set up anything past 3, but I hear a lot of them are pretty shit. I know that the last night or whatever it was called was the worst one apparently, but I'm in no rush to seeing the other Transformers movies. The next one is, what is your opinion on Tron Legacy, which is the sequel to the original Tron movie from the 80s? I have seen the original Tron movie from the 80s a long time ago. I've never seen the sequel though, Tron Legacy. I do plan to check out Tron Legacy maybe someday. I hear mixed things about. Well, I know Tron Legacy didn't get really the best of reviews when it first came out, but I hear some people say it's a bit better than it was when it came out. But again, I've never seen Tron Legacy, but I have seen the original Tron movie. The original Tron movie was pretty good though. The next one from Donkey Man is, what do you think of Robert Duvall? Great actor. He was great in the first 2 Godfather movies, Falling Down, etc. The next one from Donkey Man is, have you seen the Fast and the Furious movies? I think I've only seen the 7th one movie and Tokyo Drift a long time ago. I couldn't really get into the Fast and Furious movies. I don't know, they're not really my kind of movies. I don't know, I just couldn't get into them. And the last one from Donkey Man is, have you heard of an actress named Jenna Ortega? Yeah, I've heard of her. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of her because she was in shit like Wednesday, X, and a couple of other stuff. And wasn't she in one of the Transformers movies? I believe she was. I can't remember though. I've only seen her in the movie X. That was it. I haven't seen Wednesday, but I do kind of want to check that show out at some point. And those are the questions from Donkey Man. And thanks for the questions, Donkey Man. The next 5 questions come from Irvin's Movie Corner, and all 5 questions are listed under one comment. So the questions are as follows. Number 1, what's your opinion on Gone with the Wind? Number 2, what's your opinion on Moonlight with Marshala Ali? Number 3, what's your opinion on Green Book? Number 4, what's your opinion on The Sting with Robert Redford and Paul Newman? And number 5, what's your opinion on Schindler's List with from director Steven Spielberg? Number 1, I have seen Gone with the Wind, and it was a good movie. I enjoyed it, but I felt the movie was a bit too long and kind of boring at times. But it was a good movie, though. I enjoyed it for what it was. Number 2, I have seen Moonlight. I remember liking it. I don't remember if I liked it as much as other people did, but I do remember liking the film. Number 3, what's your opinion on Green Book? I've never seen Green Book. I heard mixed things about it. Maybe I'll check it out someday. Number 4, I've never seen The Sting, but I've heard of it. But again, I've never seen it. And number 5, I have seen Schindler's List a long time ago. I remember really liking it, aside from the serious subject matter. It's a hard to watch film, but it was a really, really good film. Probably Liam Neeson's best performance, in my opinion. And those are the questions from Irvin's Movie Corner. And thanks for the questions, Irvin's Movie Corner. And let's move on. So these next 4 questions all come from Maximum Geek Boy, and all 4 questions are listed under one comment. So the following questions are: number 1, have you watched the HBO series for The Last of Us? Number 2, what's your opinion on movie trailers nowadays? Number 3, what are some of your favorite movies directed by Steven Spielberg? And number 4, what's your favorite Breaking Bad episode? Number 1, I haven't seen The Last of Us, but I do want to check it out. I hear it's pretty great. I've also never played any of the video games that The Last of Us was based on, but I do want to try them out one day. Number 2, I think movie trailers these days give away too much of what the movie is. I kind of hate how some of these movie trailers like reveal too much for a movie and they just spoil it. Just seriously, stop spoiling the movie with the goddamn trailer. I hate that when they do that in trailers. Number 3, some of my favorite Steven Spielberg films are Jurassic Park, Munich, which I thought was really underrated. Let me think. Schindler's List was a great one, like I said earlier. E.T. is a classic, and a couple of other ones. I think Steven Spielberg is a great director. And number 4, my favorite Breaking Bad episode. I'll be honest with you, I think it's the final episode of Breaking Bad. Without spoiling it, I thought the final episode of Breaking Bad had one of the best endings I've ever seen to any TV show. Although 6 Feet Under still has the best ending I've ever seen in a TV show, it's still a damn good final episode to the series. Way better ending than Game of Thrones or Dexter or any other show that had a shitty ending. And definitely a better ending than Ozark, which I thought the ending to Ozark was stupid. I'll be honest, that ending to Ozark kind of pissed me off. But, yeah, well. And those are the questions from Maximum Geek Boy. And thanks for the questions, Maximum Geek Boy. Alright, guys, so there are only 7 questions left for this video, and then we're going to call it a day. So the final 7 questions all come from That Movie Nerd 44, and each of the 7 questions are divided into 7 different comments. So the first of the 7 questions is, have you seen the Crank movies starring Jason Statham? I've never seen them, but I do want to check them out because I hear they're really over the top, and I don't know, they just seem like fun movies to watch, like over the top. Just some over the top crazy shit. But I haven't seen either of them, but I do want to check them out someday. The next one from that movie nerd 44 is, what do you think of Chow Yun Fat? He's a good actor. I liked him in the movies that I've seen that he acted in. I think he's a really good actor. The next one is, have you seen The Last Samurai, the period action drama starring Tom Cruise and Cam Watanabe? I've seen that movie once a long time ago in the 8th grade when we were talking about samurais and shit in social studies or whatever. I haven't seen it since then, but I remember that movie being pretty good. I'd like to check it out again someday. I remember it being a pretty good movie. Kind of reminds me a bit of it's kind of similar to Dances with Wolves, I find, only with samurais and stuff. The next one is, what are your favorite rap songs? I like Big Papa by Notorious Big. I like California Love by Tupac. I like Till I Collapse by Eminem and a couple of other ones. Those are really the ones I can really name right now. Don't really want to name too much because that's going to take too long. The next one is, do you plan on watching the Venom movies starring Tom Hardy? No, I don't really plan on seeing them. They don't really look that interesting to me. Plus, I hear they're kind of shitty movies. Um, the next one is, what is your favorite John Hughes film? Trying to think. I haven't really seen too many of his movies other than Ferris Bueller's Day Off, or wait, did he direct that movie? Let me check. Yeah, he did direct Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So my favorite John Hughes movie would be between that one or The Breakfast Club. I haven't really seen too many of his movies that he's directed, other than those two, 16 Candles and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which I was not a fan of either of those two movies at all. They were okay. But I liked The Breakfast Club and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Ferris Bueller's Day Off is a classic. Yeah. And the last question for this video is, do you know that a spin-off to the John Wick franchise titled Ballerina will be released next year? It will star Ana de Armas and Keanu Reeves will return in a supporting role as John Wick. It'll also be the last film appearances of the late Lance Reddick, who passed away last month. Yeah, I've heard that they're coming out with another John Wick movie, but it's going to be a spin-off. And I thought that John Wick Chapter 4 was Lance Reddick's last movie, but I guess I was wrong. I swear, I think they're going to milk that franchise till dust comes out. But, yeah. Maybe I'll see it when it comes out, but I don't know. But, yeah, we'll have to see about that. So, yeah, those are all the questions from that movie nerd 44, and that's going to be it for today's video. And special thanks to everybody for submitting their questions. So, yeah. So, thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, as always, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment below, subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, share the video with your friends, family, or whoever, and follow me on my other social medias. The links are in the description down below. And if you have any questions you'd like me to answer in the next Q&A video, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I will gladly answer them. And yeah, guys, so that's about it for the video. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and until next time, this is Geek and Shepherd signing off. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day, everybody. Peace out.